The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, how are we doing? Wow, what an afternoon here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. I see my pretty red lights are gone. Check this swing around past Alan. Yeah, that other way's a little small. But we are, oh my goodness, so much going on here. A little controversy with the super high roller. The players have been dropping left and right here in the main event. We're already down to 19. Including this guy who has decided that he's going to become the Grim Reaper for this tournament. You know, leave it in there, Sean. Sean Koenig's joining us. What's up, my friend?
Having a great time.
Obviously. Where's the chip count out now?
3.8 million. Got as high as 5.3 million, and played some aggressive hands and back to 3.8 million. But I enjoy the rush.
Well, you know, of course, chasing a $1.4 million payday at this point, it's getting closer and closer. But one thing I think's been really shocking. The play has gone so fast today. We started at 62. We're at the dinner break at 19. What's been going on out there?
I've been playing tournaments now for almost 8 years, and I'm stunned with how fast this play has been. It's just nothing I could have forecasted to be done this quick or be down to 19 players.
You know, it really doesn't have anything to do with the structure. I mean, a lot of people are deep here.
Yes.
You know, it's just that everybody's decided to fire away today, I guess. I mean, it's been very odd.
Actually, I believe there's some of that goes on, but I also believe those that are not quite as experienced with playing a tournament like this with this number of big blinds, they feel like they have to make crazy moves or do them faster than what they really do. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, you're always going to have your aggressive players that take some shots to try to really get themselves in position for the final table, but you still have several people that think they have to do stuff with sub-marginal hands.
All right. Now, of course, you had a huge hand, knock two people out at the same time to break this thing to three tables. Tell everybody a little bit about that one.
Well, I had a guy shove for 500,000 chips and another guy call for 500,000, and I was in the big blind with ace-king, and I felt like that I was up against probably an ace, queen or ace-jack and one, and maybe a small pair, and I was a little bit off. I had a guy with fives and a guy with queens. I had the ace-king, and I hit the ace. Now, at that point in time, I had 3 million in chips, so I felt comfortable risking 17% of my stack to win another million.
And, of course, you know, a lot of people make some extra money off that. Nice job. Yeah. So now, you know, pretty tough table you're sitting at. You got some very good players at your table right now.
Yes. I do, but I'm rarely intimidated by anybody at the table. It's a hobby, and thankfully, again, I don't rely on it to feed my family.
Oh, there you go. Well, we'll be coming back from dinner break. One player gets eliminated, then you guys get to take the rest of the night off, and you know, maybe start thinking about picking up a lot of money coming up here, brother. It's going to be something else.
Yes, it is.
All right.
It's very exciting, and I've had a great time playing in the tournament here, as always. In the springtime, I got 28th out of the 1,800 people they had. So it's kind of cool to run it back the very next one.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. I know you probably won't get to eat, but I appreciate you stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you on that final table.
Thanks a lot.
You got it, buddy. Good to see you again.
You too.
Sean Koenig stopping over. Lots of chips in front of that man. Can't be complaining. Yeah, of course. I've already said that like 4 times today. I'll say it one more time. WPT Jacksonville PT champ. Sean Koenig's joining us there. Oh, my word. I'll tell you what. But this has just become such a great battle today. Now, like Sean said, I've never really seen at a major event play moving so fast. I mean, this has just been sensational. And, you know, we were a few players, you know, a few hands away from possibly getting to that 18 or wrapping it up today, or wrapping it up for the day. But they will go to dinner break, 90-minute break. So the players will be back in play here coming up around 8:25, 8:30. And well, depending how things go, might stay on to see if we can get to that. We'll just watch how things work out here. But hey, I want to thank you for joining us. By the way, didn't get to do a good intro because Sean was coming in here. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. And once again, we're live here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open as $1.4 million on the line in the main event. And also the... Yep, there it is. Yep. Kayleen with the save. Nice job.
I was holding it for you. I was holding it for you.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I wasn't going to take it home with me, but it's so much nicer than
Yeah. Unlike the guy that stole one of my shirts. I'm going to tell that story on the air today, too, by the way. What a goof. All right. So, once again, that's where we are for the main event, 19 players remaining. We'll break down a little bit more on that one. Of course, do have a situation with the high roller event we're going to want to get into, too, just a little while. But first, once again, Mark Hoke Show. And, of course, you want to follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. I would certainly appreciate it. Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. And, of course, we're watching all your tweets coming in as we are, following 19 players and some very good ones here and some very popular ones trying to win this. Make sure you go to, you can tweet at SHRPO, hashtag SHRPO. I'm keeping an eye on that throughout the day. And if you want to go on the blog and see more updates, it's shrpo.com. And right now, by the way, they are compiling the chip counts here on the tables. And as soon as we get those, instant update right here on the show. All right. And just looking in the old chat box. Oh, I got to give an OPA out. There we go. I am Greek in the chat box. And if you want to get into the chat box on Ustream, feel free to do so. We'd love to have you join us there. But, wow, what an amazing afternoon. And, of course, we're still kind of trying to get some details together on what happened with the high roller. Scott Seaver very upset right now. And there is apparently some sort of miscommunication or confusion or change with the payouts on the high roller structure. As we started out with 9 players today, and apparently as play was wrapping up, they were at the moment sitting at 5 players when they stopped play today, but then they announced that they had added another payout spot. Apparently this was dealing with the Poker Stars team that was kind of supervising this event and setting up the live stream, and for some reason late in the tournament, is around when the players were wrapping up, it was announced that they were going to add another pay-in spot or payout spot, and Scott Seaver not happy about it, as of course, big difference with 2 spots and 3 spots, and how how a potential payout could be with Scott had taken the chip lead on this. So we're trying to get a little more information about what went on there, and I'll tell you what, if you guys can. And, so we'll try and find out exactly, a little bit more as we go through the show, what happened with it. Basically, that was what I was told. I actually spoke to Matt D, who was in the tournament, and said that they had come in and told them that they had changed the amount of payouts late in the, right before play ended. So, obviously Scott not happy about it. The other players, from what I had, the other players' reaction was not very negative about it. But just some sort of communication error happened somewhere along the line. I think they were also had more players that said they were committed to playing the tournament that chose not to for whatever reason. So it's really created a delicate situation here on the high roller. But like I said, we'll try and get more info about it as well, because I really don't want to, without getting statements from a lot of people, especially, the team here at the Borgata, at the Seminole Hard Rock, I really would, don't want to speculate too much on what went on with the decision that was made there to add a payout spot to the high roller event. So as we go along, we'll try and hit that. Good to see everybody, by the way. Casino Examiner, J-Stat in the chat box, Wookie Way, Sweet Blue in there too, along with a bunch of guests. So thanks for being with us here. Once again, the chip counts are getting compiled. We are going to be able to give you all that information as soon as it gets dropped in my tiny little hands. But I'll tell you, the blog team working overtime on this tournament. What an amazing scene we've had today. Of course, we do have a lot of great players left in this thing, and we're going to take a break and run it all down for you right after this. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deege Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deege player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deege Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DeegPoker.com. Deege Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle. Right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel Apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, and we are back live here on the Mark Hoke Show at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open 2014 here in Hollywood, Florida. And it has just been one hell of an afternoon. We're just going to leave it there. Yeah, and I'm just, seeing some of the comments in the chat box. Once again, I want to, once we get some more information here that we need to get before we can really put out what's going on with the Super High Roller event. I want to be patient. I don't want to, say anything that isn't true or innuendo or rumor. Want to make sure we get it right. So I'm just asking everybody, hang in there, and we're trying to pull everything together that we can at this point about what has gone on here with the decision to add another payout spot. And, of course, like I said, Scott Seaver very upset about this situation. And I know people are asking about the chip counts and everything. And as soon as we get I'm supposed to be getting some information here fairly shortly. So I'm just going to ask everybody to be patient. And we'll let you know what we can tell you. Obviously, a lot of discussions and things going on. So as soon as we can, we'll give you the information on the High Roller event. But let's look at that main event. And I'll tell you what, we have got some superstars on board here. The chip counts are being compiled at the moment. So if you guys can hang in there, we'll get those as soon as we can. But I mean, a really outstanding field of players still hanging around in here. Natasha Barber making a great run in here. We have a guy, Kirk Kohlberg, who's just been sitting between Natasha and Dan Coleman and just sweated it out a few minutes before the break. Guy was standing up, walking around, and taking deep breaths for what seemed like 5 minutes just trying to get it under control there. I believe Ty Ryman's still there. Blake Bond doing very well in this tournament. He continues to pile up chips. So looking good. Mike Leah in there. Sean Kunix, Roman Vallerstein still in this, along Russell Thomas and Dan Coleman. Joe Kuther chasing this. John Dolan. I mean, what an all-star field of players that have just been are going to be duking it out for this $1.4 million first prize as we just continue to look forward to getting this day over with for the main event. Of course, kind of a weird timing there as we ended up one player away from play ending for the day. And we did see a question on Twitter, and yep, I do look at my Twitter, from Drea Thomas, at Drea Thomas. Why are they going to dinner? And the simple answer to that is, I know there was some discussions going on about a couple people seeing if they wanted to play through, and some people decided they wanted to eat. Can't blame them, I guess. And that was funny. I just replied to her and said I figured as much. Just seemed pointless. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I think in that situation, you really would like to see it played down. But of course, you never know. I mean, we've seen these bubble lines, of course, drag out for hours and hours. And if you don't get something to eat, I mean, it's not decide to delay it. It's it could be a pretty much a pain in the butt. You could not eat till 10 or 11 o'clock, depending on what happens. So don't blame these guys. Just keep it rolling and play it safe. I know Mike Leah just tweeted in his chip counts. He is at 3.3 million. And, of course, our average chip stack right now at around 2.4. So Mike Leah doing very well in here. And once again, just kind of keeping an eye on the Twitter until we get the chip counts handed it to us. But I tell you, Natasha Barber getting a lot of love out there. So many people on his side or on her side trying to win this championship. And I tell you, I know, Scott, some interesting tweets coming into Scott. Mickey Peterson telling Scott he should get a T-shirt with the original payouts, and Dan O'Brien says, "Please do this." Obviously there's a legitimate. I'm sure there's a, whatever you're going to agree with or not, but there's certainly a reason for the decision that they made on that. And like I said, as soon as we get to it, get the information on it, I think it's going to be coming over pretty shortly. So as soon as we do, we'll break it down for you. And right now, of course, 1 hour left on this break. Hey, by the way, we also are going to be getting a call in from Matt Savage, and that should be an interesting discussion as we'll talk to Matt. I mean, he's been getting so many posts and comments and tweets, discussing what is going on with this overlay, and of course, we can't forget the WTT Legends was basically putting on board that they had they were expecting $4 million in prize money, and they didn't even come close to that either. So we'll take a look at the future of poker. Where is it? I know Matt's still very optimistic, and I think we should be too. But we'll hear from Matt in just a little while as well. So, oh my word, unreal scene here at Seminole Hard Rock. Of course, I've got some other events going on too. I want to make sure that we get to mention those as long as I have this in my notes in the right place, which apparently I do not. So as soon as I find that, but in the meantime, remind everybody right now we're playing down for a lot of money here. 19th place we'll be picking up $49,888. 16 through 18, $59,865. 13 through 15, $77,326. 10 through 12, $99,775. Ninth place on this final table will be getting $149,663. Eighth place, $199,550. Seventh place, $249,438. Sixth place, $324,269. Fifth place, $424,044. Fourth place, $548,763. Third place, $748,313. Runner up, $1 million. $1 million, Josh. $1,047,638. And the winner will pick up $1,446,710. 300 players got paid in this because of that overlay. So a lot of people walked out of here happy. And once again, we're just waiting to get everything put together. Of course, we did have a lot of drama right before the break. Raymond Leone managed to just survive against Tom McCormick. That's in the 1100. Excuse me. Bear with me for a second. Like I said, we do have a couple other events going on right now, so just trying to pull it all together for you. All the information's coming in. Like I said, we just literally ended up a few minutes ago. Wow. Yeah, see, I am Greek. Must be bad if Scott is pissed. He's so easygoing. Yeah, like I said, we're waiting to get a little bit of a statement from these guys as to why and how and why that decision got made. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, obviously there's some sort of communication or decision made, and obviously it does hurt Scott, but because according to I said we're all sorts of information still being passed to us, but from what I understand, Scott was leading the event. So, man, it's a tricky place to be here. But we're waiting for more of that coming. Of course, like I said, Matt Savage coming up here in just a couple of minutes, and we're gonna have a discussion with Matt. So. All right, and I know looks like just a little conference ended there, and we'll see if we're going to get that information we were looking for. But Matt Savage coming up here in just a little bit. All right, so like I said, just kind of we're trying to hang on here and get this to you as much as possible, but until we get things truly confirmed, not saying a word, not a good decision. Now it's we've seen a lot of irresponsible journalism in so many areas lately. people talking about things that aren't true or just making stuff up. So don't want to certainly do anything like that. All right, so Matt Savage, we'll have Matt on in a couple of minutes, and maybe I'll see if we can give Matt a ring now, and maybe we can get him on the show here. Of course, I want to thank all of our great sponsors of the show. We got our good friends at Deej Poker. Hey, if you guys haven't heard of Deej Poker yet, well, shame on you. DEEGpoker.com. Great new poker apparel company. I got some wonderful military guys and veterans in that company, too. Definitely a group to support. Check them out at DeegePoker.com. Like Degenerate should be pretty easy to remember. DEEGpoker.com. Good friends, Blind Squirrel Apparel, 20% off for the code HOKE at BlindSquirrelApparel.com. Look good and be lucky for the gambler in you at Blind Squirrel Apparel. We also have double-digit covers. I know you're betting your sports out there. Football season coming up. You can get some great packages. You can check them out for a week, whatever you need to do. But you can call up and get a free winner from them at 855-489-2700. Number one in Vegas and the world at doubledigitcovers.com. We also have friends at BlueRail.net. They build websites and do it very well. They've been doing it for us for over about 2.5 years now. Check them out at BlueRail.net and give them a call at 522-820-5128. It's 522-820-5128. And, of course, visit our host site at RogueWire.com. Hey, the book Poker Tilt by Dutch Boyd, man, I'll tell you, what an amazing piece of work that is. Give it a read. You're going to learn a lot about careers in poker, what it's really like out there, and some of the ups and downs of one of the more controversial figures in poker history at PokerTilt.com. Also available on Amazon. All right, and of course, if you're in Las Vegas, hey, check out Nevada Poker League. Make sure you go to NevadaPokerLeague.com. $50,000 in cash and prizes, all for free. Take a look today. 17 different locations. $50,000, kids. Go to NevadaPokerLeague.com. All right, and don't forget, check us out on KLAV 12:30 a.m. in Las Vegas. We're on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific with replay at 9 p.m. on Friday nights. And if you're not in Las Vegas, well, we're on the internet too, KLAV 12:30 am.com. All right. Okay, so once again, we're just kind of keeping an eye out. Matt Savage is going to be on in just a couple of minutes, and we also are trying to get some more information for you on this super high roller controversy. From what I sorry, bear with me for a second, because I know there's some other info coming up. But apparently payouts were changed late in this play on the day, and we're looking to get some explanation, some information about it. A lot of it from what I've heard from some of the players, just somewhat of a missed communication. But depending on they think there was some issues about how many players were expected to be in it and so on. And we'll find out as soon as we can if we get a statement from these guys during the show. And of course, once again, the chip count's getting compiled here too. Just trying to see when those get rolling in, we'll have those for you as well. Of course, Sean Koenig's had taken a big lead, and he just heard from me. He was down to 3.8 with 19 players left. All right, so tell you what, let's since we're still waiting for the info we want to try and get, we will get Matt Savage on the show here in just a second. We'll just make sure Matt's ready to go, and then we'll give him a call and put him on the show and say hi to one of the great tournament directors of all time, Matt Savage. I'm just waiting for confirmation from Matt, and we'll get him on here. So bear with us here, guys. Of course, so we're live here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open, Hollywood, Florida. It's been a very eventful week, and of course, great series. Of course, we have the situation with the overlay coming up, and certainly a lot of players making money from that, but much concern about are the guarantees going to go away, or the re-entries going to be going away. So much discussion has been generated about this in the poker community, and we're going to get one of the experts on here, Matt Savage. In fact, let me try and give him a call right now and see if he's out there, and should be on any second. So appreciate your patience, guys. Like I said, I'll tell you, we've got so many things happening at one time here on the show, and it's just it's been a wild one. 19 players left in the main event. Hit break. A lot of other discussions going on around here, and I know the team's doing their best to get everything together for you here at SHRPO, and I think okay, and we got Matt on the show. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, Mark. How you doing?
Oh my goodness! I tell you what, I'm about ready to have a heart attack out here.
It was a deal with that high roller.
Well, we don't 100% know yet, so I'm waiting to get the information about exactly what transpired with that.
How many players do they have for that?
I believe we had 9 in there, so but that's about as much as I'm going to say to right now until I get everything that I need to know about this thing. I think we're down to 5, but we'll wait and see until I know what's happening here. But it's been a wild week here, huh, Matt? What do you think?
Yeah, it's been a long week for them. I mean, I feel sorry for them a little bit because, I've been in that spot before, where you're missing guarantees, and it's no fun when you're on the management side of things when that happens.
And well, I think one thing that's been very interesting, and we obviously, we don't want to beat Seminole Hard Rock up or anything like that because they run an amazing series. I know you've said that repeatedly to people that this is just still one of the great poker events out here on the calendar. And I think after talking to people and talking to you, I think the first and foremost issue was the timing of the event that caused a lot of problems. I mean, would you say that would be the main contributing factor to this?
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, when you have, like last year, it seemed like that was the only game in town, right? But this year, it seemed like there was so much more going around. I mean, you can talk about WinStar, you can talk about EPT, you can talk about the World Poker Tour at the bike, but there was also other events as well, And if those events are keeping people in their own backyard, then there's no reason to go to the East Coast or South Florida. But as you see, that event is just so huge and so awesome that you think it might take some of the thunder away from those other events. But it appears like those other events all did well also.
Yeah, and if you look at this event, this main event, we still had 1,499 entries and a $5,300 buy-in. I mean, that's still a very good number.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. I mean, it could, $7.5 million prize pool. You don't see that very often throughout the poker calendar. So, if you look at it that way, it's a successful event.
Yeah, just a little overlay issue. That's about it. You're getting attacked back there, Matt. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just my dog going a little nuts.
I think another issue I think a lot of people have been bringing up, I mean, just maybe looking at an overall scene first, is the situation with guarantees. And, my understanding is they still plan to go ahead with the 2015 schedule here, still plan to do this $10 million again. But a lot of people are concerned that the larger guarantees may start going away. Do you think that's the case?
Well, I mean, I think that you have to set your market, and obviously with this one, they made it last year, and it was a great event, and you think that if you do it the first time, it's easy to do it again. But I think sometimes when you have a successful event for the first time, you have to work twice as hard the next year to make it successful. And I think maybe they're realizing that now. But I definitely think that it's a spot that can have that kind of guarantee. And there's not many that can.
And a lot of talk I've also heard too is about the format of using reentries and how they're used. And of course, you had a very well-read blog about how you think that the reentry situation has gone too far. And I've heard a lot of people mention that to me over the last 24 to 48 hours. That people are just starting to say, you know what, the multiple massive amount of reentries going on is starting to turn some people off. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a thought that reentry makes it unfair for the amateur and for the deep pocket pros. They have some kind of big advantage. I mean, as you look at who made the final table last year and who won and came in the top 3, was three pretty solid names. Now, if you look at the list of, I mean, how many are left now? 18. It's pretty solid list left there as well. So, there may be something to that. On the other hand, you're not going to have these big guarantees unless you have reentry. So you have to take the good with the bad, I think, with those. And, I think if you take away the reentry, you're going to have to take away some of the big guarantees as well.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's difficult too is that players are having to deal with a lot of travel issues, and I don't think poker's dying by any means. I've heard some people say that, and I think that's kind of a crazy statement. But I think players are getting smarter about where they're going and what they're doing, and being more conscious about the money that they're spending because they're not getting millions of dollars in sponsorships from poker stars and companies like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Obviously, that has something to do with it, and it is a tough place to get a hotel room, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're looking at Labor Day travel costs, which anywhere, I mean, everybody raises their hotel rates, everybody raises the airfares. So doing stuff over Labor Day weekend, can be pretty expensive for the players, just period, no matter where you go.
Right, for sure, and it's one of those things where sometimes people go away on Labor Day and they have family commitments as well. So I mean, I'm sure that could have been a factor as well.
Yeah, I mean, just it's just I think it was just we had a perfect storm here, as I've said on the air more than anything else, and I mean obviously there'll be some adjustments made on this thing, and we'll see where it ends up. But what other concerns do you have right now with because I know you've been getting a lot of feedback from people about the direction of poker, where it's headed. What have you been hearing?
Well, I mean, for me, my events, what I really want to focus on is satellites, and trying to get people in, the locals in, the amateurs, the people that might not have a lot of money to get into these big events, and I think that's the way to go because giving those guys a shot at lifetime changing money, coming out of a satellite. I think that's how poker was really, how the boom really started. You think back to Moneymaker and getting in for $40, or how he kind of changed the game. And I think satellites are super important to make sure that you have a great event.
Yeah, and one thing that you got to wonder, and I think that they'll probably take a hard look at this. I know you mentioned this to me that you'd probably like to see a lot of support from some of the other Hard Rock properties. Running satellites to get into this event. I mean, that's one way to make sure that these things don't happen. You do have a year to build to this tournament. So, with all the Hard Rock properties that are out there, maybe that's something that they're going to have to look at in terms of putting satellites together more and more to say, hey, we want to get you into this 10 million guarantee and, open that type of market up.
Well, that's a bit impossible for them only because if they have, we have a World Poker Tour event in there in April that has a $5 million guarantee.
Oh,
so
true.
getting, you got to fill that too. So,
yeah.
When you have to fill a $5 million and a $10 million, and I think the Lucky Hearts tournament in February, I think probably has a $2 million or something like that. You've got a full schedule of guaranteed events that have driven a lot of business their way and have made them a top player in the poker market for sure. So I guess they've done well with that. So I just think it's hard to focus just on this event when they have other great events throughout the calendar year.
Yeah, that is a good point. So what are the long-term ramifications of this? What can be done to maybe avoid these scheduling gluts, to avoid anything like this happening anywhere else? Because obviously it does hurt poker. I think a lot of players here, once they got past the, oh man, we got all this extra money, was, oh, this isn't good. What do you think needs to happen to help everybody out as we move forward into this new era of poker?
Well, some players say that it's great that they have the competition and people have a choice of where to go. But when you're going to have an event like this, I think it's you have to have this be the main event, the big thing going on in poker. So obviously you don't want to schedule over a WinStar, which has a very good following, and a lot of people chose to go there for whatever reason. So I think you've got to schedule around things like that. We know that they moved it off the EPT Barcelona event, and they even had some support from Poker Stars, which I think in the future could be very huge for them. So you definitely want to move things around to where the major events don't conflict with each other.
Should there be some sort of I don't want to say governing body. I mean, I think that's maybe a little strong term, but some sort of sitting down and working, casino heads in different regions working together and looking at the calendar and maybe trying to plan things out a little bit together as a group, so everybody, so people aren't getting hurt, because I mean, this is the only guarantee that's ever been missed. And
Yeah, well, it would be nice. I know that Ray and William Mason talked to the EPT. We also worked with the WPT. Seminole Hard Rock is a partner of the World Poker Tour, so we kind of made some accommodation as well there for the WPT. But I think this event obviously hurt the WPT bike event as well, and so all of those things working together, but still being so close to each other, kind of makes it tough for people to travel from coast to coast as well. If you're going to plan one big poker trip, it's kind of hard to do both events.
Right, and one other thing that a few people said to me, I know Dan Shack made a comment about this on Twitter, was all these events just to them are too soon after the World Series. They'd really like to get through Labor Day and be able to relax the rest of the summer and enjoy themselves. They can play poker any time of the year. To get that little bit of extra time off before they really get into it is something that's important to them. Is that something that everybody needs to start thinking about? Maybe is at least in the United States, is staying away from events till after Labor Day starts.
Well, I mean, I don't think so, because look, bike has been in the same slot for years. WinStar's always been in that same slot. Last year this event succeeded with a $10 million guarantee. So is it something that that can be done? Yeah, it was proven last year that it can be done at this time. It was kind of an open spot in the schedule last year for the most part, and that's why I think it succeeded so well. People forget that we had a lot more international players last year when I was there at Seminole than we did this year. So I think that obviously hurts. Less Canadian players as well were down there. So I think, if you take those entries away, you'll see why they missed the guarantee.
Yeah, and that is one thing that I noticed too, that this field was definitely not as international as it was last year. And, unfortunately, that's nothing that because of a lot of tax reasons. I know you mentioned that to me too. The Canadians get 30% taken out, and it's that way for a lot of other people from other players in other countries as well. So certainly that is starting to. I think it's really starting to become a factor as EPT becomes more successful, Canadian Poker Tour, and so on. It makes it really less of a value for players to come to these events.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know if they're still doing that, but with the satellites, they have a policy that if a foreign player wins that doesn't have a tax treaty, they actually have to pay 30% on the satellites. So, that right there stops people from wanting to play satellites.
That is unbelievable. You say that number, even though I read it before, and it's just like, that is unreal what we're doing here. But
yes.
So.
Yes.
Well, so where do we go from here, Matt? I know you have a lot of concerns about the future of poker and always looking out for the game. So overall, what needs to be done from this point on to make things better here in terms of situations like this and scheduling and so on? Where do we go?
Well, I obviously feel that working together is important, but also cutting down some of these reentry events, same day reentry events, really have just hammered the industry, for a lot of people, and even for the backers. I think that was part of it. Some of the players or pros that chose to go to WinStar over here, I don't think they had a choice. I think their backers actually said, well, I'd rather have you play there where I'm not as much at risk, or it's more affordable for me. And if you want to play, you got to go there, not here. So I think you have to look at that as part of the reason for a lot of those guys going to WinStar, because if you look at their guarantee, $2.5 million over $10 million, it kind of makes you scratch your head. Why would they go there and not Seminole Hard Rock?
Yeah, I would agree with you. And and for the amateur player, the ones that are looking at an event and see they see a multiple reentry event like that, I think that's pretty scary for them. I know when I do get to play, it's it's a limited bankroll, and I get a little nervous when I may have to beat a Michael Mizrachi 6 times in a tournament as opposed to just beating him once. So, we need to reach out to those amateur players as well. And what do you think are some of the best steps to do that?
Well, I definitely think that no same day reentry. I'm okay with reentry because people do travel long distances and want to have another shot if they happen to bust out. But what I am a fan of is just a single entry per day. So if they bust out, they have to reenter the next day. And that kind of keeps people playing satellites and playing other side events and playing in the cash games, which is kind of what poker was meant to be in the first place. So, and that's why tournaments were designed. So I think that has a long way to make it a better for everybody, but I'm not sure that everybody else feels that way. So we can just keep working hard to get people to understand that it does hurt people to have these same day reentries. So they don't have the money to play the next day, or they don't have the money to play cash games, or they don't have to play the next tour stop in poker.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, by the way, speaking of another tour stop, I know you and I are both going to be making a trip. I wanted to make sure we mentioned this. We're going up to Grey Eagle, right?
Yeah, I'll be going to Grey Eagle in Calgary. I'm excited about that. I'm going to go see the hockey game. I'm going to go see the Flames take on the Canucks, and hopefully the home team can win that night. But I'm excited about it because, just the response that I've gotten. People have been texting me and tweeting me and sending me emails and messages on Facebook about how excited they are to have me come up there. So it gets me a little fired up thinking, people want me to see me and for me to be a part of their event. I'm excited about that.
By the way, I know one person on Twitter that I saw said that the reason that they did not hit the guarantee here was because you weren't here.
Well, that's not true, obviously. I mean, I think I could have covered my expenses
Yeah.
had I been there. I know a few players that would have come had I, told them they had to be there. But, obviously we wouldn't have made the guarantee with me being involved. But, I'm sad that I'm not there. I'm sad they didn't make it. And, they're a great property, William Mason and Ray Stefanelli and a great staff that they have in place there. So I know that they'll try hard next time to make the guarantee. But, yeah, it was a little sad for me not to be there.
Well,
I don't take any pride in the fact of missing it, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think anybody does when you really take a second and think about it. But I will say this: it's got to be flattering for you to when something like this happens in terms of tournament direction and so on, that you seem to be the go-to guy that everybody wants to talk to you, get your opinions, and see where things need to go. You're the guy. I mean, it's got to be incredibly flattering.
Well, it's good. I mean, I've had the fortune of meeting a lot of great people in this industry, and making a lot of good friends. And I've always been of the opinion that I'm there to help and try and make it better for everybody. I know that a lot of the tournament directors out there have contacted me over the years, and any way I think that I can help them is better for me and better for the industry. And obviously, it's a little interesting when they're a competitor, but I still do get those phone calls from people that are running other tours, and I'm happy to help them because I think anything that helps poker is better for all of us.
Yeah, you bet. So, well, I'll tell you what, Matt. I know that I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk about this subject, and obviously being very professional here. Trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing for poker at this point. So, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and always a pleasure to get to talk to you, my friend.
You got it, Mark. You're doing a great job, and obviously you've grown so much over the last few years, so I'm happy to see your success as well. And I know you have an exciting couple days coming up. Somebody's going to make over $1.4 million. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, going to be exciting. And, we got this, we're at 19 players right now, so one more goes down after break, and then they get to break the rest of the night. So it'll be kind of fun.
All right. Sounds good, Mark.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate it.
You got it. Take care.
There we go. Matt Savage joining us, everybody. Get to talk to... So, given Matt calling in, and and obviously, Matt looking out for the betterment of the game there, and a good discussion with Matt. So nice to talk to him. All right, we're going to come back, and we do have some info on the high roller. So we will get to that in just a little bit. Let's step back and take another break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We're live at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open, Hollywood, Florida. So stick around, everybody, and we'll be right back.
poker players. It's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel Apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, and we're back here on the Mark Hoke Show live. Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. 19 left here in the main event. These guys are playing for, well, a lot of money, $1.4 million. Well, buy a lot of footballs. Maybe some cheese bites. But, of course, we're having a great time here at the Seminole Hard Rock, one of the premier properties in all the United States, an unbelievable casino, and, of course, some amazing poker going on here too all the time. So make sure you come on down here to the Seminole Hard Rock and check it out here in Hollywood, Florida. Guarantee you're going to love it. And, of course, some great entertainment. Just had Slash over here the other night from Guns N' Roses. That was pretty cool. So, anything you need going on, you can have some fun here at the Seminole Hard Rock. Of course, right around Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Not a bad spot. All right, so we have a statement here on the Super High Roller. Just want to give this to everybody, and we'll go where we will with it. According to this post on shrpo.com, you can take a look at it there, too, if you want to give it a read. Here's what it says. There was a miscommunication which occurred during the $100,000 Super High Roller event. It was verbally communicated during play from a tournament staff member that 2 places would be paid up to 10 entrants. As the 5 remaining players bagged the chips for the day, the official payouts were provided. The official payout structure indicated 3 spots would be paid based on the 9 entrants, and this was communicated to the players when they stopped for the evening. Players voiced their concern to tournament officials and requested a review of circumstances. It was determined for the integrity of the game, the payout structure communicated to players during play will stand. Okay, so I may have a question about that real quick. So you can hang on just 1 second. I just got to take a look at this for the first time. So hang on just a moment here. All right, so that means, and just double checked, we are paying 2 in the high roller. So it has been shifted back to what the players were verbally told during the tournament. I just wanted to confirm what that statement said. So it will be 2 players out of the remaining 5 that will be paid in the super high roller. So there's the answer to your question. So obviously, miscommunication took place during the event. That was different from the official payout structure, which then created the confusion. And so there we go. So there's your answer. So I am Greek in the chat box. Seaver wins with exclamation points. So there you go. And by the way, lots of great comments in the chat box here. Six-Toe Pete controversy. Mark will get to the bottom of it, and I just did. Here we go. Six also asking, is Wookie there in Florida? Send to the table microphone. No, Wookie is still in California. I wish I could take him everywhere we go. Also, is it true Sam Grizzle is wearing a T-shirt that reads Free Newark, New Jersey? I'm going to say no on that. No political statements anywhere at the table that we have seen so far. Also, does Blind Squirrel Apparel, one of our great sponsors, and once again, 20% off with the code HOKE, sell a white button-down Oxford. Go to blindsquirrelapparel.com and find out Six-Toed Pete. All right, so that ought to pretty much settle it. Issue done. So the confusion was cleared up, and according to what was told to the players during the event, that it would be 2 players getting paid. It's 2 players getting paid in the super high roller. So there you go. All right, so everybody happy? Everybody cool? Good. All right, so we can get back to the business of the main event going on. I don't know what Kayleen just got over here, by the way, one of our amazing bloggers who also final tabled an event here. But whatever that is, that smells awfully tasty. Kayleen, what are you dining on here?
This is a meatball parm sub from the Italian place in the food court here, and it is awesome.
Oh, my God, it smells so good. Wow. Not fair. That's all right. Kayleen's probably been overall working much harder than I have this Seminole Hard Rock series. So she's more entitled to a fantastic meatball sub. By the way, the food at the food court here at SHR is banging. I had a hamburger, the bacon double cheeseburger. I've been trying to stay away from that stuff, but I decided it just sounded too darn good, and I have to say, quite tasty. So you get great food, you get great fun, all sorts of stuff at the Seminole Hard Rock. So if you're not here, get down here. Come on, we still got a few tournaments to play yet, and you're going to get to see a couple of live streams here too, with PokerStars TV here covering the Super High Roller live stream tomorrow, and then the main event final table on Wednesday. So that should be pretty cool. I mean, just a lot of great stuff happening. I am Greek. That is a good question. I have that somewhere. So bear with me, and I will tell you. I promise. Give me one moment. The broadcast will be the table actually starts play at 2. Broadcast starting at 3 p.m. So it'll be 3 p.m. The super high roller is going to be getting played, and when they officially release those chip counts for that event, we'll be more than happy to give those to you. But from what I was told, Scott Seaver is in the lead in that one. So, well, I'll tell you, what a day! What a day! Yeah, Debbie wants to know. See, there you go, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Good to see you, Debbie. Nice to catch you again. Good to have you back with us on the show. We're also, once again, waiting for the chip counts to get posted for there, and there they are. All right, so let's give you the rundown on our chip counts here in the main event. 19 players left. And also, by the way, have the Skype line open. If you do want to give us a call, maybe you have an opinion about what happened over here with the super high roller. I think a good decision got made. But certainly, love to hear what you think. 702-997-3015 is that call-in number. 702-997-3015 is the number to call. And also, if you want to hit me up on Skype as well, Mark Hoke 5150, MarkHoke 5150, like Criminally Insane. More like the Van Halen album, but yes, it is the call numbers for Criminally Insane. All right, so here we are right now with our chip counts. 19 players left. One more gets done, and these pretty little baggies, which I really don't want to touch, I might get my hands smacked. They're sitting right next to me, are ready to be dealt out. And here's we are, the German, Martin Hanowski. And I know I saw some Twitter love out there for him, is the chip leader at the moment, 5,350,000 chips. And John Dolan, who came into this thing with about 1 million chip lead here to start the day, has taken that 3 million plus chip stack and put it up to 5.3 million. Brian Hawkins, 4,350,000 chips. Sean Kunix was a chip leader for a little while. He's down at 3.8, but still in very good shape. Blake Bond, the Minnesota Bomber, is at 3,640,000. Golis Goe, Mike Leah at 3,300,000. Roman Valerstein, I got to tell you, this guy with chips is scary. I've seen this in play incredibly short stacked, and seeing Roman with some chips right now, this could be very interesting. Watch out for this guy as we get closer and closer to the final table on this. 3,075,000. Dan Coleman, the controversial one, at 2,460,000. Should we even ask him for a comment? I might get punched. I don't know. Joe Kuther is at 2,130,000. Joe's been having a great tournament so far, and now in the middle of the pack, but in good shape to keep it moving. Lenny Duvdevani at 2,065,000. Matthew Sedgman, 1,595,000. Kurt Kohlberg, 1,550,000. I know he was all in a couple times over here and managed to stay alive. Farhan Madani at 1,545,000. Natasha Barber, last woman standing in this event, trying to hang on. A very popular player out there, 1,115,000. Former WSOP final tableist Russell Thomas is at 1,075,000. Ronald Ostro at 840,000. Jacob Naqueen at 830,000. Yuri Kadash, 425,000. And Michael Stembera, 415,000. So that's where your chip counts are right now for the main event here at the Seminole Hard Rock. And I want to thank you guys all for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. I am the aforementioned Mark Hoke. How about that? It's amazing how that works. Of course, doing live coverage here at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open 2014 version here in Hollywood, Florida. All right, and wow, Tums being passed around. I think that's very fitting. The Tums stock just went up about $2 after this week. But, of course, the table assignments are up here, too. So that's going to make it a little easier for me to set that up. But it's kind of funny. Oh, also looking at some... Oh, and now, by the way, I gotta say another tweet just came in from Ryan Fee at Fees88, and who's also in that high roller, remaining in that high roller tournament, and he's now not happy on their side. So this is outrageous. At Scott Seaver complains to SHRPO staff, and they changed the payout structure of the tournament after it starts. WTF? Yeah, that's another way to look at it. It is very difficult to see how that all ends up. But, all right, so bear with me for just 1 second. We're kind of doing a rundown. I see Ray Stefanelli stealing my pen. That will not be the place to write, but you could use my notepad. That might work. Hopefully Ray's not on camera here, though. He's writing stuff down. Nope, he's clean. I think he's just got a little. Nope. That's not Ray. He's all right. All right. So back to those table draws here. Bear with me. We'll swinging around. Like I said, a lot happening here. All right. So there we go. Sorry about that. I just got asked to do a little work, so of course very happy to do so. Once again, those table draws, I'm trying to get to this as much as I can. There's really a ton of things happening right around me right now here in Media Row. So here are your table draws. Got them finally posted up here for me. Okay, table 6. They are playing six-handed right now. It is Dudavani at the 2 million mark. Brian Hawkins 4.3 in seat 2. And the Hush Barbers in seat 3. Kohlberg is in seat 4. Dan Coleman is in seat 5. And all the way on the other side of him at seat 9 is Blake Bond. 6, 7, and 8 are empty. So Coleman and Bond maybe battling it out a little bit. Barber and Kohlberg trying to hang on. Table 7. With one of the short stacks, Yuri Kadash, 425,000. Ronald Ostro is in seat 2, 840,000. Jacob Nakina or might be Nakina at 830,000. So the 3 short stacks in the tournament, all sitting in the middle table right now, and they are going to have to try and get through the wall of Mike Leah at 3.3, Kunix at 3.8 in seat 6, Valerstein's at seat 7, a little over 3 million. Russell Thomas at 1 million. So not too bad of a break there for Russell Thomas, being short stacked, but it's got 3 short stacks right next to him to try and get to this final 18. Joe Kuther on table 8 is in seat number 1 at 2.1 million. 2 is empty. Martin Hanowski, your chip leader, is on that table in seat 3, 5.35 million. Matthew Sedgman 1.59. Michael Stembera at 415. Can't be too happy because he's got Hanowski on just about on one side of him and Dolan on the other, playing 6-handed. Dolan at 5.3. 7 is empty, and 8 is Farhan Madhani, 1.54 million. So Michael Stembera may have an uphill battle on this. With the 3 short stacks, pretty fortunate that that they're not they're only going to have to look to 1 to survive before we get to the redraw at 18. So this is we got some interesting table dynamics going on here for this remaining elimination. And we do have about 15 minutes left here on the break before the players come back in. So that's where things sit right now here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event. And I'll tell you a lot, just a lot of things going on here. I think but people don't realize just how incredibly difficult it is to put on a major event like this. And occasionally things happen. So I guess. And I'm also looking at the. I'm just looking at some of the tweets, and especially from Scott Seaver, at Scott_Seaver. After 2 hours, management decided to uphold initial payouts. This preserves game integrity, and thank you to SHRPO for listening to a complaint. And some other comments out there too, but and I see one person says this update really couldn't be more unclear. From He the Most. So I'll clear that up for him. But yeah, this is this has been an incredible last few days here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. But of course, it's been an outstanding series for sure. And of course, tomorrow we'll come back and review it a little bit more. But there are other events that are being played right now, and as soon as I can slide this over here for you, want to look at the at your main event schedule. Where if you still want to come down and play, number one, you're going to get to watch 2 great live streams from PokerStars TV team. James Hardigan and, of course, Joe Stapleton will be in the house. And I believe they're arriving sometime today, so we'll get to maybe catch them on our pre-show tomorrow. As we'll be kicking things off tomorrow. I think we're going to probably do a noon start to lead in, do a preview of the Super High Roller and where things are in this main event before the live stream gets rolling. Wednesday, we'll be back on probably around 1. It's double checking the schedule here, but it's looking like 12 tomorrow and 1 on Wednesday. And then, of course, we also have our KLAV show on 12:30 a.m. at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you join us on KLAV 12:30 a.m. We'll be live and, maybe even right in the room for the main event. I'm sure we'll probably step out for that. But coming up tomorrow here at Seminole Hard Rock, we have event number 23, a Pot Limit Omaha 8 or better re-entry tournament starting at noon. So a chance for you to come down and play event 23. Also event 24 on Wednesday, Big Stack No Limit Hold'em re-entry tournament, $50,000 guarantee tournament coming up for you on that one. Also some secondary events going on. There is still time, well, actually just getting underway, but if you're anywhere around here, you want to come down and play. A Black Chip Bounty Survivor No Limit Hold'em re-entry 1 in 10 is going to win $3,000. So you can still come down and play that. That is secondary event number 68. Secondary event 69 is a Big Stack Semi-Turbo No Limit Hold'em re-entry at 8 p.m. So make sure you can come in and play that one. $200 to play that. And Wednesday's event 70 is a Deep Stack Turbo No Limit Hold'em re-entry tournament. So plenty going on here the next couple of the days other than the high roller and the main event for you to get involved with if you want to come down and play at the Seminole Hard Rock. All right. So if you guys, if anybody wants to give us a call, you're more than welcome to do so. Oh, there we go. Sorry, looked like we had a little internet lock up there. I blame the meatball sandwich. It's messing up my internet. But once again, we're getting ready to get back into play here. Oh, so mean. She's fanning the fumes at me. Oh, God, it smells so good. But once again, we're about 10 minutes from play, getting back underway here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. And, glad we got a lot of information out to you as fast as we could. And, actually, I think we got some clarification on the statement that was on the site as well. So once again, just to settle the situation of the high roller, because of the announcement was made, the 2 players are getting paid. That's what they decided to stick with. So it's 2 players getting paid in that high roller, so everybody can calm down, have a couple of drinks, smile, enjoy the event. All right. So I'll tell you what, we're going to step back, take one break, and we're going to try and hang in as long as we can here with this main event going to be back underway. And, of course, play is right in front of us here at Media Row. One player goes down. The rest get to go home. So we'll take a break and be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us, everybody, live from the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event here in Hollywood, Florida. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deege Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deege player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deege Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deege Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back live here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. I'm fried. I'm brain dead. It's over. Normally, I can get through 12 or 14 hours of doing this stuff, but it's been pretty stressful around here. Just a little bit. Of course, we are one away from reaching the end of play today. So, we'll probably hang on here for you for a little bit, and because we do have some pretty short stacks in the building right now. Looking at, I believe we head up to 25,000, 50,000 blinds, 5,000 ante coming up, and we do have two players right now under 50,000 in chips. So this could go pretty quickly. We also, of course, Michael Stembera, 415. Yuri Kadash at 425. We also have a couple of other ones under $1 million. Jacob Nakin and Ronald Ostro, 830 and 840 respectively. And even some of these guys, Russell Thomas, a little over $1 million. Natasha Barber, 1.1. Those players are going to have some work to do here too. But of course, right now the main goal is survive. Get through this one night, this one player, and try and come back tomorrow and play for some big money. This last payout, last one on this level was the 19 to 27 level, $49,888. And then we start jumping into some of your bigger money. Of course, 16th through 18th, $59,865. 13 to 15, $77,326. 10 to 12, $99,775. We start getting our final table payouts. Everybody in 6 digits on that one. $149,663 for 9th, $199,550 for 8th. 7th place gets $249,438. 6th place, $324,269. 5th place, $424,044. 3rd place or 4th place, $548,763. 3rd place, $748,313. 2nd place, $1,047,638, and the winner, $1,446,710. They'll be walking out of here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open 2014 here at at Hollywood, Florida. And players are starting to come back in. 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the break. And they are getting ready to roll here. Like I said, I have a feeling, it shouldn't take too long. So I think we'll, keep it with you live and let you be right with us when this last bust out goes down for the day. Oh, and that reminds me, I got to mention that this is a funny story. Well, not so funny. So I brought some Mark Hoke Show T-shirts along, something to give out and try and maybe sell a few and pick up a couple extra bucks while I'm here. And about 10 days ago or so, a guy came over and asked about a shirt, and I said they're $12. I was selling them for $12, and he gave me a raft of crap about how I played the main event. I should get one for free. Now, I have nothing to do with, things that go with the poker tournament. I'm here independently. And he was pretty upset. Well, today, the guy comes back over with one of my shirts. No idea how he got it. Obviously stole it. And, I have a few of them sitting down here. So the guy stole the shirt, comes up and says, I need a different size. And I'm looking at him like, well, it's going to be $12. Not sure where he, and I'm looking at him like, I know you stole that shirt. And his buddy's trying to get one too. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is, they're $12. Well, one guy says, I'll pay for it. I'm like, great. So I'm like, they asked me for the size. I pull them, and then, I'm like, $12. And this guy starts yelling at me about I played in the main event and I should get a free shirt, get it free. I'm like, sir, you didn't pay for that. You didn't buy that shirt. I said, well, you just don't remember. I said, I didn't sell any shirts. So how would I? I'm pretty sure I would remember that part, don't you think? And they put the shirts down and walked away. That was pretty funny. Nice try, pal. I do appreciate you getting in my box and stealing my shirts. What a dirtbag. Oh, my God. Then I had security sitting right there, too. I was just ready to pound the guy into the ground. All right, so we are back under play now. Chris Spears supervising, holding those little cards that are the keys to tomorrow. The bags are in front of us, so we are ready to go. Blind levels 25,000, 50,000, 5,000. Any. Of course, we can't do any play-by-play or anything like that, but we are just right now waiting to see what's going to happen here. Waiting for one more player to go down, and we'll be down to our final 18 here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Of course, a nice little difference between 77,000 and 59,000. Or, excuse me, 59,000 and 49,000. So somebody's got a $10,000 hand coming up here right now. Of course, the blog team on it here, keeping an eye on things too. And we'll hang in there for one more bust out before our coverage is going to end for the day here on MarkHokeShow.com. Once again, if you want to follow the show at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Of course, we're just waiting to hear that word payout, and we're going to wrap it up. Once again, to give you these table breakdowns right now, let me swing to that window. Right in front of us on table 6, we're looking at Lemmy Dudavani in seat 1, Brian Hawkins in seat 2, Natasha Barber in seat 3, Kirk Kohlberg is in seat 4, Dan Coleman in seat 5, and then all by his lonesome on the other side of the table is Blake Bond over there in seat 9. That table right in front of us, so it does happen right in front of us, so we'll get to see it. In seat number 7, or table number 7, excuse me, Yuri Kadash is in seat 1. Seat 2 is Ronald Ostraw. Seat 3 empty. Seat 4, Jacob Nakeen. Seat 5 is Mike Leah. In seat 6, Sean Kunix. Seat 7, Roman Vallerstein. And seat 8 is Russell Thomas. And then looking at the far table right now, and I was just using it for a second. Yuri just made it to his seat. Oh, and I think we have it done already. Over? Who's gone? Well, just like that. Are you kidding me? Now we were saying it could be one hand, and then there it is. Looks like that bust out may have come from the far table there. And it is Michael Stember, who was the short stack coming into this break. He has been eliminated. The hand, I'm sure, will be up on shrpo.com, but play's over. Wowie! And the blog team is like, yeah! All right. Of course, still hands, waiting for everything settled down and play, but all right. So the one thing that we are going to have, of course, we got to have a redraw for these seats. And I'm sure the SHRPO team is going to do a great job getting that posted as well. But Michael Stembra is out and 18 left. So just like that, it's done. I got to tweet that out, too, because that's pretty funny. So bear with me for a second. We'll take care of the social media side. Of course, they'll be back at 12 o'clock tomorrow. But so Michael Stembra eliminated on the first hand coming out of the break. All right, so that is going to do it there, and that means that's going to do it for us here on the Mark Hoke Show. We want to thank everybody for joining us here. I know a wild afternoon here at the Seminole Hard Rock, and I'm sure we'll have some more discussion about what happened here with the high roll. And of course, the main event going on, $1.4 million prize up for grabs. So the players are tagging and bagging right now, and we'll see where the redraw lands all of these guys here pretty shortly. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. So we will see. We'll see you tomorrow, and we're going to be back on at noon tomorrow. So we're doing a show there, kind of leading into that high roller event, getting things started, and then I'll be back on the blog team tomorrow. They need a little extra assistance, so I'll be. You'll get to see some of my fine work on shrpo.com. So that'll end it right there. And actually, I got to tell you one thing. I'm maybe seeing some tweets coming in. Nope. Yep, that's going to do it. All right, so we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. A pleasure for all of you stopping by, and maybe for some of these guys who are new, thanks for coming over and finding the show. We'll see you tomorrow here at noon here on the Mark Hoke Show. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day.